right, welcome back, y'all. I'm going to go through and work out these problems from the review so you can make sure that you understand how to do everything for our test tomorrow. So the first one, it says solve for the variable in the following proportions round to the tenths if necessary. So what we got to do, first we set up our cross products. So we have 2 times 7 minus r. So 2 times 7 minus r. So, and then we have 5 times r over here. So those are equal to each other. Now y'all have to be really careful because I noticed when y'all are multiplying these things here, you're forgetting to do the parentheses. So you have to multiply 2 times 7 here and 2 times minus r. So 2 times 7 is 14, and then 2 times r, it's minus 2r because we have the minus there. And then that's equal to 5r. Okay, so add 2r to both sides. And so we get 14 is equal to 7r. So divide by 7. You get r is 2. All right, now number 2. Same thing. Set up our cross products. We have 3 times 40 plus a. And that's going to be equal to, over here, 9 times a, which is 9a. All right, on this one, you can see that 9 is divisible by 3, so let's make our lives easier. Divide both sides by 3. So those cancel, so we have 40 plus a is equal to, and now if you do 9a divided by 3, it's 3a. So minus a and minus a, so we get 40 is equal to 2a divided by 2. So we get 20 is equal to a. All right, next one. It says, if triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, then find x. Okay, so if they're similar, their corresponding parts, when we put them in a ratio, they should be equal. So 5x matches with 5. So we can do 5x over 5. And then now we'll do the other one here, 4 matches with this x. So since we took the 5x and put it on top, the 4 has to go on top in our other one. And then x will go on the bottom. And so now we just multiply here. 5x times x is 5x squared. And then 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, and so now here, we just want to get rid of, we want this x squared by itself. So you have to get rid of this 5. So divide both sides by 5. And so you get x squared is equal to 4. And so just take the square root. So what times what gives you 4? 2. So x is 2. All right, now this one, it says if triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, and then they tell you here AB is 5, DE is 10, all this other information, you need to find FE. So it says draw a picture. So draw 2 triangles. Okay, and we go A, B, C, and then we do D, E, F. So you make sure that you follow the same order. Now they said AB is 5 and DE is 10. And they tell us BC is 2 and AC is going to be 4. We need to find FE. So the 5 and the 10, those match. Your 2 and your question mark match. So do we really need this 4 over here? No. So we'll do 5 over 10 is equal to 2 over a question mark. So you can just call it x. So we have 5 times x, that's 5x, and then 10 times 2, that's 20. So 5 times x is 20, divide by 5. So you have x, 20 divided by 5 is 4. X is 4. Now look at FE. What is FE? It's just x. So FE is 4. All right. Now it says triangle ETI, so that's a small one, is similar to triangle EHG. Find the value of x. So I would just draw E, T, I separately. So that's 8 here, 7, and then 5. And then now look at your big triangle. It's E, H, G. Now the reason why I'm drawing this one separately is because they don't tell us the actual total side lengths. So we know the bottom part is Y, and then here on this side we have an 8 and then a 10. So this whole side EH is 18. And then here, this whole side, it's made up of 5 and X. So this side is 5 plus X. And then now we have to find X. Are we worried about Y? No. So we don't need to worry about Y. So we need to match here. 8 matches with 18, and 5 matches with 5 plus X. So this is what we're going to use to set up our proportion. So we do 8 over 18 is equal to 5 over 5 plus X. And so now cross multiply. So we've got 8 times 5 plus X is equal to 18 times 5. And if you do 18 times 5, you get 90. So it's equal to 90. Now is 90 divisible by 8? No, so we'll just multiply in here. So we have 40, because 8 times 5 is 40, and then 8 times x is 8x. That's equal to 90. So take away 40 from both sides. So we have 8x is equal to 50. And so now divide by 8. Divide by 8. So we have x, let's go up here. X is 6.25. So if you round that to the tenths, so 6.25. Look at this one, it's 5, so it's going to make that 2 round up, so 6.3. All right, now this one here. It says triangle MNQ is similar to triangle MPO. Or I'm sorry, MQN is similar to MPO. Find the value of x. So x is this part right here. So we're going to have, we have the small triangle, and I'm going to draw the big triangle separate. So the big triangle, on this side, M to O, we have to do 18 plus 9. So that gives us 27. So in the big triangle, this is M, this is O, which is P. So this is 27. So the 18 matches with the 27. And then now we got to do this other side. The other side is made up of this segment that's 20 and also this side that's x. So this side is 20 plus x because you just add those two parts together because we want the whole side. And so the 20 matches with the 20 plus x. So now let's do our proportion. We'll do the small one over the big one. So 18 to 27 is equal to 20 to 20 plus x. So now we'll do our cross multiplying here. So if you do 20 times 27, you get 540 is equal to 18 times 20 plus x. Now let's see if 540, try and divide it by 18. All right, you get 30. So since we can divide it evenly, let's go on ahead and do that. So divide by 18. Just make your life easier. So 540 divided by 18 gives you 30. And then that's equal to 20 plus x. So just take away 20. So x is 10. And that's what we were looking for. All right, number 7. It says the figures below are similar but not drawn to scale. Find the value of x and y. So similar means that the sides are going to be proportionate. So we need to choose sides that are matching, and then we need to also have a pair where we have the variable with it. So we'll do 6 compared to 4. So 6 over 4. And then let's start with x. So we have x matches with 8. So we have x over 8. So 8 times 6 is 48, and 4 times x is 4x. Divide by 4, we get x is 12. Okay, now we got to do the same thing with the y. So you can use a 6 and 4, or you can switch it up and use this 9 and 6 there, but let's just be consistent. So we have 6 over 4, and then we have the 15 matches with the y. So 15 to the y. All right, now cross multiply. So 6y, and if you do 15 times 4, you get 60. So divide by 6, and you get y is 10. Okay, number 8. The figures below are similar but not drawn to scale. Find the value of x and y. All right, so x matches with 16. Y matches with the 10. And so then we have the other sides to kind of choose. We can do 6 and 12, or we can do 11 and 22. Let's do 6 and 12. So we'll put boxes around those. So we'll do small over big. So 6 over 12. And then let's do y first. So we have 10 over y. So cross multiply. 6 times y is 6y. 12 times 10 is 120. So divide by 6. So 120 divided by 6 is 20. So y is 20. Now let's go and we'll do x. So we'll keep using the 6 over 12. And then now we need our ratio for the x. So we have x to 16. So we have 12x is equal to 96. And if you divide both sides by 12, you get 8. So x is 8. Okay, next one here. These ones, they're shadow problems, guys. They're just really two triangle problems. So you have your big triangle here with the tree, and then you have your little triangle with the person. So you're looking at these measurements here. So if I were you, I would draw the small one out separately. So we have the 4 foot here, and then this is 5.5. And then you have your big triangle here. This is x. Okay, and then so we have our big triangle. Okay, so we have x. And then if you look down here, do you see these tick marks? That means that this side here has been cut into 2 equal parts. So if this is 5.5, this is also 5.5. So the whole side, you add that together, 5.5 plus 5.5, that's 11. So that's where we get our second side from. So you got to do that. So we're trying to figure out the height of the tree. We're just trying to find that x. So the 4 matches with the x, and the 5.5 matches with the 11. So we get 4 over x, which is 5.5 to the 11. So cross multiply. So 11 times 4 is 44, and 5.5 times x is 5.5x. Divide by 5.5 on both sides, and you will find that x is 8. So the tree is 8 feet tall. All right, number 10. Same thing here, except this one, they're giving us different tick marks. So this part here is 95, and from here, from the tree up to the flag, this is also 95. And on this section here, this part's 54. This part is also 54. So your small triangle has the 95 and the 54, and then our x. Your big triangle, okay, I'll draw the big triangle. So you do 95 and 95 together. So this is 190, and then 54 and 54. So that's 108. And then they tell you the height of the flagpole is 100. And so now we can match. So we have the 190 on the big triangle. So that's the whole side. We have to match it on the small triangle, so that matches with 95. The 100 on the big triangle matches with X on your small. And then the 108 on the big one matches with the 54 on the small one. So now we just kind of set up our proportion. We need to find the height of the tree. So we have to have the 100 and the X. So we'll do X over 100. And then it's really your choice upon which other proportion, or I'm sorry, ratio that you want to use. Let's do the 54. So the 54 is coming from the small one, and X came from the small one, so that goes on top. And then the 108 matches with that, and that's from the big one. And so then we just multiply here. So 108x is equal to, and then you do 54 times 100, you get 5400. And see if you can divide that by 108. So 108 divided by 108, and you get x is 50. So x, the height of that tree, is 50. All right. Now on these ones here, it says determine whether the following triangles are similar, and you have to put the statement, like the similarity statement, if they are, and if they're not, you just put not. So on number 11, we have all these sides. So they're going to want us to see if this, by using side, side, side. So match your small side with your small, medium with medium, large with large. So on the small triangle, my small side is 3. So I put a circle. Now go over here on the big one. My smallest side is 12, so put a circle. Okay, medium sides now. We have 4, so put a box around that one. Medium over here is 16. And then our long sides are 5 and 20. Okay, and we need to check the ratios on all of these. So the first one, we'll do 3 to 12. Okay, and we're going to see if that 3 to 12, that reduces to 1 over 4. Okay, now let's look at the next one. We have 4 to 16, so we do the boxes. Okay, and 4 to 16, well, that reduces to 1 over 4. And then our last one is 5 over 20. So if you divide both 5 and 20 by 5, you get 1 over 4. So all three fractions, like all three ratios, reduce to the same one. So since they all reduce to the same one, these are proportional, so it is similar by side, 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 similarity. And then we'll go through and we'll name them. So we'll say RED. So triangle RED is similar to triangle. So now look, we went on the medium and the short side. So here we're going to go medium and then short. So DOT. DOT. Look at that. Red dot. So triangle red is similar to triangle dot by side, side, side. All right, now let's do number 12. On this one, you can see which ones are supposed to match up. The 8 matches with the 6 because they're the shortest sides. The 12 matches with the 9. And then the 16 matches with this other 12. So we're going to do big one over small one. So we do 8 over 6. And we need to see if that's going to be equal to our another ratio. So we'll do 12 to 9. So 12 to 9. So now look at your cross products. So this is the other way you can do these problems. So if you do 12 times 6, you find that that is 72. And if you do 8 times 9, you also get 72. So that one's good. Now we need to compare the 8 and 6 sides, so 8 over 6. We got to compare them to the sides that are in the little kind of clouds. So 16 to 12. So multiply. Do 12 times 8, which is 96. And do 16 times 6, which is also 96. So those ones are good. Okay, and then now we have to make the last comparison. We got to compare this side here, BC, with AC. So that is EF with FE. So we'll do 16 to 12. And we compare that to 12 to 9. So 12 times 12 is 144. And 16 times 9 is also 144. So these are similar. So now we got to name them. So we'll call the first one BAC. So triangle BAC is going to be similar to triangle EDF. And it's by side, side, side similarity. Okay, now 13. On this one, we can see they're giving us angles. Okay, so there's no sides given, so we're not going to do side, 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 or even side, angle, side. We're going to do angle, angle. So first, here at T, these vertical angles are congruent, so this one's also 90. So they have these two 90s in common. So that's one angle in common. Now we have to see if they have these other angles in common. So we need to figure out the third angle in one of these triangles. So we'll do 180 minus 90, which is 90. And then let's take away 28, and we're going to see if we get 62. If we get 62, then we know they're similar. If we don't get 62, then they are not similar. So borrow here, 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 2 is 6, and we get 62. So these two angles, they match. So we have two angles that are congruent in each one, so they are similar by the angle, angle. So let's do TEM. Okay, so that's 90, and then this one over here has to be 28 because that's the only option. So we did 90 to the 28 to the 62. So here we go TAB. So triangle TEM is similar to triangle TAB by angle, angle similarity. All right, now let's do the next one, 14. Here, again, look, we have our vertical angle, so this one's also going to be 90. So let's figure out the third one. So if we do 180 minus 90, we get 90. And then we'll do 90 minus 61. So that gives you 29. So this one's 29. So we have the 90s in common. We have the 29s in common. So we have our two angles in common. So we're going to make our similarity statement. So we'll do triangle HTS. Let's go this other way. Let's do HST. Triangle HST is similar to triangle. Now we got to go the same order. So we went from the 90 to the 29. So 90 to 29 to the other one. So HFG. HFG. By angle, angle similarity. Okay, number 15. So this one, we have two sides, so we're going to use that. And so now we have these vertical angles. So we have angles, okay? And then now we're going to see if our sides are proportional. So since we have sides and angles, we're going to see if we can do side, angle, side. So now you look at the ones here. Your smaller one on this triangle here is going to match up with the smaller one on the other triangle. So 9 matches with 15, and 18 matches with 30. So we just set up our proportion here. So 9 to 15 should be equal to 18 to 30. And then look at your cross products. So do 9 times 30, which you should get 270. And then do 18 times 15, and you get 270. So our sides are proportional. The angles in the middle of them are congruent. So we'll go triangle ACB. ACB is similar to triangle. Now look at how we started here. We went along this side that we put in the box, so the bigger of the two sides, and then we went to the middle, so DCE. and it's by side angle side similarity. All right, now number 16. Okay, this one, we have our vertical angles, they're congruent, and now we match small side with small side. So 8 matches with the 28, and then large with large, so 14 matches with the 49. And now we just have to set up a proportion. So 8 over 28 should be equal to 14 over 49. And so do your cross products. 49 times 8 is 392. And then we do 28 times 14, and you get 392. So our sides are proportional, the angles in the middle are congruent. So we'll do triangle MVL. MVL is similar to triangle. Now look what you went on. You went on the large side and then went back down the small side. So large side down the small side, so TVU. So TVU, and it's by, again, side angle side similarity. All right, now this one here. Geometric mean. So we want the simplified radical form. So we have 3 over x is equal to x over 18. So do your cross products. So we have x squared is equal to 54. Okay, and if you take the square root of both sides, we get x is the square root of 54. And so if you factor this out, let's see, 54 would be 3 cubed times 2. Well, it would really be 2 times 3 cubed. Let's write that out. So we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 2. Find your pairs. We have one pair of 3, so that comes out to the side. So x equals 3. And then this 3 and the 2, the loners, they stay in, but you multiply them back together. So 3 times 2 is 6. So x is 3 square roots of 6. All right, now let's do the next one. 6 and 15. So 6 over x is equal to x over 15. So we have x squared is equal to 90. So x is the square root of 90. So then if you did this one, you would have 2 times 3 squared times 5. And so that's 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. So there's only a pair of 3's. So that gets pulled out, so 3, and then the square root. And then we have the 2 and the 5, they're singles, so they get multiplied together. So 2 times 5 is 10. So x is 3 square roots of 10. All right. Now on these ones, it says find the value of z. Okay, z is one of the legs, so we're going to have to do the boomerang. So we have z, we have it to the whole thing, and then we have z with just the 5. So 15 plus 5 is 20. That's the whole thing there. So we have 20 over z is equal to z over, and then the part it's connected to, which is 5. So we have z squared equals to 100. So z is equal to the square root of 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. So z is 10. All right, now let's look at y on number 20. So we need to find y. Again, we're trying to find one of the legs. So we're going to have to do the boomerang. So you have y compared to the whole hypotenuse, so that's 9 plus 3, which is 12. And then we have y compared to the part it's connected to, so to 3. So 12 over y is equal to y over 3. So we have y squared is equal to 36. And so if you do the square root of both sides, you have y is equal to the square root of 36, which comes out to be 6. So y is 6. All right, next one. It says find the value of y. So y is the altitude here, so we're going to use the heartbeat rule. So we have 6 over y is equal to y over 24. So we have y squared is equal to 6 times 24, which is 144. So square root. So y is the square root of 144, which if you evaluate that is 12. So y is 12. All right, now number 22, we need to find x. So again, this is the altitude, so we're going to use the heartbeat rule. So we have 5 over x is equal to x over 15. So do your cross multiplies. So x squared is equal to 75. So square root. So x is the square root of 75. And so if you do this, you'll get 3 times 5 squared, because it's not a perfect square root. So that's 3 times 5 times 5. There's one pair of 5, so that comes out. The 3 stays in. So x is equal to 5 square roots of 3. And remember here, sometimes they might ask you for the square root rounded to the nearest tenth. So just do the square root of 75. And so if you do the square root of 75, you get 8.6602, like it'll go on for a while. Look at your hundredths place. It's a 6, so it's going to make that 6 round up. So it would be 8.7. So just remember, if they ask you for it to the nearest tenths, just remember to round. All right, so that's it, guys. Just go over this, make sure that you've understood everything. It matches the test very well. And so if you can do all this, you will be successful. See you guys tomorrow, and good luck.